Hey guys! As you can see by the title of this video, I am now going to do a 20 lessons I've learned in 20 years of my life. Basically, so like a week ago, I turned 20, obviously. I have my notes here of 20 things I have learned, and yeah, let's just get into it. The first lesson I learned, the first lesson I feel like it's like the biggest lesson kind of, but just that nobody cares. No one actually cares what you're doing and like what you look like, what you're doing, the way you sound, if you do something embarrassing, like maybe they'll remember it and laugh for like 2 seconds. But realistically, no one actually cares, which means you can do anything. Like, it's so freeing in a sense. Like, you can have fun, you can do anything you want, and no one actually cares, even if it looks a bit cringy or embarrassing, because literally you're the only one who's feeling like it's cringy or embarrassing, you know? Like, and if someone is, then they're probably insecure in some way, shape, or form. Like, I've actually been there where I've been someone who's judgy because I'm insecure. So like, yeah, I feel like you can just have fun and you can just do anything. Like, you don't have to be so like insecure or like self-aware of what you're doing. Obviously, I'm still working on this, but that's just the first lesson I've learned. Okay, so the second lesson that I've learned is that it's better to do something and for it to go wrong than to not try and do anything at all. I think this is because I've had so many regrets. All my regrets happen more from when like I don't do something, and then later on I'm like, oh, I wish I did that, I wish I tried, I wish I put myself out there in that way. I don't know, I think I'd so much rather have done something and then have it go really badly than to like have that doubt and like wonder like what would have happened if I just did something and if I tried. I also have things that I've tried and it's actually gone wrong, but then I feel so like grateful and happy that I did it and I learned from the experience. I feel like it's never really a bad experience, it's just more of a sad kind of like, oh, I wish I got that, like I don't know, maybe what would have happened if I did. But at the same time, it's like I tried, I put myself out there, I did my best. The third lesson I've learned is that everyone's journey and timing is different. So for context, I think this is more in the sense of like having a relationship or having, not even just relationship, but I think that's where it kind of starts, or having any like romantic interaction. I've never had anything, never, absolutely nothing. I just have friends and that's honestly okay. And I've gotten to the point where I actually don't feel too upset about it. Like sometimes I wish, I'm like, oh, I wish I had something to just tell my friends, because sometimes it's hard when like all your friends talking about something and then you're just like, I actually can't even add to this conversation because I literally have nothing to say because I literally haven't gone through anything. But everyone has their own time and everyone's life's different, and you can't really, you don't get anywhere with comparing yourself to other people. Everyone's time's different and you'll just do, it'll just happen whenever it happens. Yeah, and it's okay to be single. Like, sorry, just remember, Millie Brown is engaged right now. Like, what the hell? But like, it's just like that type of thing where I'm like looking at someone who's younger than me and I'm like, what even? Everyone's timeline's different. Everyone has their own path, their own road, their own, yeah, they're just all traveling in their own speed and they're doing their own thing. The next lesson, the fourth lesson I've learned is that God will never leave you. This is for more the Christian people out there. I obviously just said I'm a Christian, but I think as I've gone through the ups, the downs, the like, the gross situations, like in the midst of everything, God is actually with you and he'll never leave you, and he'll always be in your corner when you're crying by yourself, when you're going through the worst times of your life and like you feel so alone. One thing I've learned is that God is always with you and that you can always rely on him to strengthen you and comfort you and put his arms around you and give you everything you've been looking for. Yeah, okay. The fifth lesson I've learned is that you are worthy of love even if those around you don't make you feel that way. Growing up in high school, I had a couple friends who just didn't make me feel loved. Like, I felt like an outsider a lot of the time. I feel like I've had so many different situations with friends where I just feel like I'm putting in all the effort, and I guess it's really hard when you're the one who like gives in a relationship, in a friendship, and then the other people just like take kind of, and you're just like feeling like so depressed. I remember seeing like videos of like this guy called Dustin. He speaks a lot about being the person who's like the initiator and the one who's always trying in a relationship, and when that happens you just feel so like unworthy of love. What I've learned is that there are actually people around you most of the time who do love you, and even if there aren't, you're still worthy of love. Like I feel like for me, I realized it through those people, the people who'd actually try, realize that even if no one in this world likes you, you're still worthy of love, and you're still, well, loved by God, but you're still also just like worthy of it. The sixth one I've learned is traveling is fun and you should do it more often because it gives you new perspectives. I literally came back from interrailing 2 days ago, and so I'm in this new like, oh my gosh, I've seen so much and life is so cool and people and places are so different. But I think it's so true, like going to new places really gives you a whole new perspective because life is so different in different places. Like I think sometimes it can be so easy to be caught up in your little bubble and you completely forget there's a whole world out there. Like there's a whole world out there. Like your life, whoever's watching right now, your life will be completely different to mine. Completely different. Even if we live in the same place, even if you were my neighbor, probably like completely different lives. And so going to a new place, a new country, gives you so much like insight to other people's lives, and it makes you more like empathetic and sympathetic of people's lives. You just realize everyone's so different and everyone's so the same in this like in different ways. Yeah, and it just opens your eyes to whole new worlds. Obviously you should kind of limit it because of the environment, and you don't want to travel too much because then it's like the environment, like Mother Earth needs to survive. Like it's actually scary out here. But at the same time, I think if you can travel occasionally, and if you can like see new places, then go and do it because it's very cool. Okay, the seventh lesson I've learned is changing your mind and your beliefs is healthy. I think so much of the time, especially with the rise of TikTok, people get so wrapped in their own little like, again, bubble, like their own little like belief system and the people who believe those things, and then they forget that you can change your mind and that if new evidence appears you can shift the way you think. Yeah, I think for me during lockdown I was able to find that little group where everyone thinks the same, and you kind of forget that once you actually step in the real world it's not the same as like online, and you could be wrong. Crazy. I think you could need to be open. Yeah, I feel like, I don't know if I phrased that well, but I feel like, yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Okay, the eighth lesson is procrastination literally gets you nowhere and you should be on top of your work. I think this is a big lesson. And to all the lazy people out there like me, and all the people who would rather be doing anything else, watching Netflix and reading books and crocheting and doing literally anything else, yeah, I think it's just procrastination doesn't help you. It's not on your side. Obviously, I think there's a difference between resting and procrastinating. If you need to rest and take a break, take that break because you don't want to break down. Procrastinating, on the other hand, is actually just wasting your time, and time you could be doing anything else. Like you could do your work, do the things on your to-do list, and then after that you can do whatever you want, in a sense. Like you still have time to do the fun things, and I think it opens up so much time to do all these other cool things that you want to be doing. So yeah, I think procrastination is not your friend, and you need to just work, and then you can go and do all the fun things later. Okay, next one. If you want to change or like become something different or someone different, just do it. Just do it. I think, again, it links back to the first point of no one cares. For me, sometimes I'm just like, oh, but like, I want to do this, I want to do that, but other people don't expect me to do that. Other people don't think I'm like that. Like, I haven't been like that up until now. So then it's a bit weird. Why don't I change? Like, this is going out of my normal. But at the same time, it's like, you want to do this, so do it. Yeah, I feel like it's so much more simple than we make it out to be. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe it's literally just me, and I just think about, like, worry and think about what other people think way too much. Yeah, if you want to do something, literally just do it. If you want to dress a certain way, but it's like the people around you don't dress that way, the people in your hometown don't dress that way, you didn't dress like that a couple years ago, so if they see you in that outfit, they're gonna be like, oh, I didn't realize you were like that. You can literally just do it, and you'll be happy, and you'll be cool, and you'll look good, and you'll do whatever you want. But like, you just need to do it. Be the person you want to be, do the thing you want to do. Yeah. Okay, we are now on the 10th lesson. And the 10th lesson is, your health is important, don't act like it isn't. Basically, for context, I haven't really looked after my body in the past. I was so unhealthy, so unhealthy. And now I do have like a couple health issues, nothing like serious, but at the same time, it just made me realize like how important my body is, and how my body is it's mine. I need to look after it because it's gonna be with me my whole life. So then why am I acting like I can't just like, oh, I'm just gonna go do this? That's so unhealthy for me, and I'll be completely fine. It's like, actually, you might be, but you actually might not. And I think you just need to have some caution about that and just like look after yourself. Okay, leading on from that point 11 is food is food. Your body is just a body. You should take care of it. I think the other point was more about being healthy and looking after yourself in that way, but I think this point is more about actually having a good relationship with food, and you shouldn't have to place so much importance on the way you look. Your body is just your vessel. People like you because of what's inside, because of your heart and who you are. And obviously, I'm not gonna lie, it's great to look nice. It's great to be proud of your body and to look at yourself and be like, oh my gosh, I love the way I look. But it really is just your body, and you shouldn't start starving yourself, or even like on the flip side, binge eating because you don't like the way you look. Because I know it can be so easy to fall into that, especially when you do start like doing the other goal of looking after yourself. Because one thing I did was that I took a gap year. During that gap year, I exercised so much, up to the point where my mindset behind it went bad, and I was like, started like weighing myself every single day, and I was measuring myself all the time. Started being like, oh, I ate this thing today, I need to go exercise that off. Or like, oh, I want to eat this, I'm going to exercise it. It's exercise, so I can't eat that. And it just wasn't healthy. And it just got to the point where I was obsessing with what I look like and what people see. And I was never really happy. Like, I was happy at points when I reached milestones, but at the same time, I was like, I just want to do more. I just want to like keep going. And because of that, I want to also accelerate the process. So I started increasing how much I was exercising, so that I could lose weight more. But then when I wasn't losing weight, I was sad, and I was comparing myself to everyone around me, and it just wasn't healthy. I just wasn't eating what I liked. Don't have to just go with greens all the time and like eat things you don't like. And you can eat something you like, eat something sugary, eat something salty or say like anything. Like, you can just do that. You can just enjoy food, and you can just enjoy what your body looks like. Your body is your body. You want to look after it. Just look after yourself. And yeah. Okay, so that point was kind of long. Next point is, treasure your moments with your family. Your parents are people too. I think growing up, a lot of the time, I would just think my parents are my parents, and I forgot they had their own lives. And I forgot that they are people, and they get upset and they get hurt just as much as I do. And I also forget they're just amazing people. Like, I just didn't realize, maybe. Obviously, if your parents are abusive, ignore everything I'm saying. Ignore it. Take everything with a pinch of salt. But they're usually amazing people, and they have this whole story before you were born. This whole story, and they're so lovely, and they're caring, and they love you for you. I think you should treasure your moments with them and try and hang out with them more. Because, yeah, that was something I've had to grow in over the past couple years, actually trying to spend time with my parents. Because sometimes I would just feel like, oh, that's so annoying. I'd rather be myself, or I'd rather be my friends. But your parents won't be there forever. And like, you're gonna miss out and regret every moment you don't spend with them. It just reminds me of that one Lorde song. I'll like put the quote somewhere. It's basically about spending time with your parents and the people who raised you. And that could be your family as well, like your siblings as well. They're all just people, and they all have their own lives, and they have so much to teach you and so much love to give you. And you're just gonna miss out on it if you just don't choose to spend time with them. So yeah. Okay, this next point links back to some of the others, and it's point 13, and it's judging people being insecure is not cool. It is not cool. It's actually so bad for yourself mentally. It's actually so bad, because I am someone who grew up around judging people, and so I became judging myself. And so I'd see people literally having fun, and I'd be like, oh, that's so weird. Why are they doing that? Or I wouldn't even say this though. I was never rude. I just would think it. It's so messed up. Like, people just actually having fun. Why are you judging them for it? It really just does stem from insecurity. Like, you actually just want to go and do something cool and fun yourself, but you're too scared to, and you're annoyed that they can, or you're jealous that they can and that they're doing it. I think a lot of the time you actually want to be where they are. So yeah, I think this is a short point, but it's such a real one. Okay, point 14. Therapy is good, and it works. I think it's self-explanatory and it's so obvious, especially if you live in the UK and it's literally free. If you need it, go. Just go, like, actually just sign up. Don't wait for anything. Actually, don't wait for anything. Just sign up if you can. If you have to like get your parents' permission or anything, just do it, please. I'm begging you. If you need help, go and get it. Go and get it. I've never seen myself change and get better, in a sense, as much as I have when I'm having therapy. So having a professional who could talk through what you're like going through and understands is mind-blowing, and it's more help than I think you'll actually ever understand. And even like there are different types of therapy. Like, therapy I had for my agoraphobia was like a different therapy to the one I'm having now. Like, the other one was more, I have to go out and face my fears and do something in a structured way, and this one's more I talk through how I feel. Both of them have been so life-changing and insightful and so helpful. And then sometimes I'll just say something and you're just like, okay. Yeah, I think they just say things and you're just like, so helpful. It is so helpful, and I never thought about it that way. So yeah, therapy works. Go and get it, please. I'm begging you, actually. I'm imploring you. If you can, go get it. Okay, point 15. Not everyone will like you, and you won't be close to everyone. I've been a people pleaser my whole life, basically. And I think as a people pleaser, you can get so used to just trying to cater to everyone, trying to get everyone to like you. But realistically, not everyone will. You can't be friends with everyone, and also it's exhausting to try and invest in so many people, especially when you are the person who like gives in the relationships. Like, you're just like giving to everyone, and if you're not getting it back, it's actually so tiring. So like, having that small group of people who you trust and who know you, it's fine. You don't have to be friends with everyone. And then leading on from that point 16 is treasure the people who do make you feel special. The people you're actually good friends with, but actually treasure them and spend time with them and invest in their lives. Find out how they're doing, actually like speak to them often, call them when you're sad, let them know when you're like not doing well, as well, because that's something I struggle with. Actually look after those people and have so much fun with them. I think sometimes, at least in my life, it can be so easy to focus on those people who I mentioned before who don't like you, and you're doing everything you can to just get them to like you, and then it's like all the friends you already have, you're just completely neglecting them, or you're just not focusing on them as much as you can, and it's like they're actually your friend. So invest and treasure those times with them and do more for them instead of these random people you might not be friends with. Simple as, I guess. Okay, point 17. We're getting to the end of this. Your perspectives and talents are good, even if others are better. I struggle with this a lot because I feel like I'm mediocre across the board. Like, I actually have quite a lot of talents, but like there's always someone who's better than me. Like, I'm never like the best one at that thing. It's just like I can do it. Like, I can sing alright, but I'm not like, my voice isn't special in any type of way. I just know it doesn't sound bad. I can crochet. I haven't been crocheting for some people, and I don't have like all the skills. It's just a bunch of things. Like, even looking for guitar, I can play it, but again, I've been teaching myself, so I'm not as like good as people who've actually had lessons. So I just feel like very mediocre, and sometimes that can be very sad and scary, because it's like you feel like you can do things, and I also don't like want to brag about them, because like, well, I'm not that good at them anyways. But at the same time, it's like, just because someone else is better doesn't mean you're not good. Comparison doesn't help. Doesn't help anything. You can actually be good at something without comparing it to someone else. You can just have fun with something and learn and grow in something, because realistically there will always be someone better. Realistically. And it's hard to think that. It's really hard to think that. But you can actually just enjoy what you have. You shouldn't beat yourself up because someone else is better or that you wish you were better. Okay, 18. Spend money on memories. I spend a lot of money on clothes. I clearly have quite a lot of them. And I realized at one point, I was like, I'm so frugal with spending my money on anything else, because I feel like clothes, I'm just like, clothes, ew. But spending your money on like experiences and memories with your friends, like going to concerts, going to restaurants, trying new things, it's actually so much fun. And I think it's kind of an investment in a sense, like you're investing in your happiness. Like, I've had some of the best memories going to concerts with my friends and having so much fun, or even like when I've gone interrailing with my sister, like that was like such a great memory. But I've spent so much money and I'm actually so seriously broke right now. It's insane, but it's like I don't regret it, and it was worth it. Like, I'll never be just turning 20 going interrailing with my sister ever again. I'll never be that girl again, or like going to different galleries and exhibitions. They're just fun things and memories that you'll have with your friends, and you should spend money on them. And I don't know if other people struggle with this as much, but I struggle on that, because sometimes I'm just like, oh, that's a lot of money, but like at the same time it's like it's worth it. So okay, 19, nearly there. You can do anything you put your mind to. When I think about this, I think a lot about my gap year, because I think I mean obviously because I had more time, but I was able to just like actually set myself goals and actually do them because I had that time. And I think because I did that, it made me realize that there are some things I've been wanting to do, and it's like you can actually just go, you can actually start doing them. You can actually just go out and do it. You don't have to wait till everything's perfect for you to go and do something. You actually can just set your mind to it and you go do it. And also, once you set your mind to it, there's nothing stopping you. Like, if you need to work to make more money, go do that, and then do whatever you want to do with that money. If you just have to put more time and energy into it, organize and plan it. But realistically, you can actually just do it. You just have to organize it. Just go and do it. Just go and do whatever you want. And finally, 20. This is less of like a lesson, but more of just like a have fun. Your teenage years are over. You made it through. And your 20s will be great. Fuck this to me and to anyone else who's turned 20 this year or just in their 20s. I actually made it through my teenage years. Crazy. Like, I feel like there's so many different things about like teenagers, about like the good and the bad things about them. But it's like, I'm actually not a teenager anymore. which is scary, honestly. But like it's actually okay. And you made it through high school, which is another thing. It's crazy. And now you just have your 20s. And you'll get through that and it'll be so much fun because now you have so much more freedom and money and time and friends and all these lessons you've learned, and you can just go and enjoy it and do so many great things. I hope you guys all enjoyed listening to me going through all of the 20 things I've learned. I really hope you enjoyed this, and maybe you can learn some things from this as well. Maybe if you're younger or older, maybe there's some things you haven't thought about, or maybe like you just need a reminder of some things. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. See you next week for another one.